our friend, Vice President Guyana, members, Prime Minister Mark Phillips, Vice President, members of the Cabinet, Ambassador, senior functionaries of the government of Guyana, members of the private sector of Guyana and Ghana, good morning. This morning is about building relationship, opening up doors, and examining possibilities. The government of Guyana is pleased to be part of this process, a process that seeks to integrate our people, but more importantly, to integrate our private sectors. For you, the private sector representatives of Guyana and Ghana, to find common ground, to examine common opportunities, and to build common strategies to make use of those opportunities. From the level of the government, both governments, this is a clear direction that both governments has agreed that the private sector of the two countries will be the engine that will drive the process forward. More importantly, this morning, high-level representation is to send the signal that red tapes and bureaucracy will be removed in the process of reaching business opportunities. And this is an important part of this engagement. Both governments has agreed to make the functionaries of government and the system of government accessible to the private sector of both countries. So this is a very important point. And that is why you see this type of involvement. Our two vice presidents paying key attention, ensuring that the bureaucracy and red tape is removed. There is no need for interlocers. This is your opportunity in the two private sectors to have direct, meaningful engagement and advancement of the opportunities you seek to pursue. And it is our intention that you would understand how important this is, and that you will make good use of this opportunity that exists on both sides. It is not only about the opportunity that exists in Guyana or the opportunities that exist in Ghana. It is how do we combine the power of the twin opportunity to become a dynamic and major player. And this is the level of engagement and thinking we want at the private sector. Not about growing a business here in Guyana or growing a business in Ghana. How do we combine that effort in twinning the opportunities of the two economies to become a worthy major player on the international market? I'll give you an example. We have assets. Our country is relatively young. Our Prime Minister is still very young, and so is the Vice President. But look at what comes behind that experience. Vice President Jagdeo has led on the environment globally. He has built a niche around Guyana and his own credentials on issues of the environment. Even working in Africa, Ghana has tremendous environmental power also, with similar assets like us, forests. How do we combine this one area from a private sector perspective, from a government perspective, to pursue an agenda globally? And the example can be taken down to mining, the oil and gas sector, food production and food security. So there may be a transportation gap if you examine the link. But if we can combine our efforts in a two economy and to see how we can meet the demands of this region and in Ghana and their surrounding areas that is linked even to the Middle East market, then we may very well find a logistics framework that is viable, sustainable, and can make profit. Take, for example, the simple objective but very complex undertaking of CARICOM, 25 by 2025. Reducing the food import bill by 25% by 2025. And let us link that to logistical opportunity, food security, food production, and marry our effort. So what we have here today is not a simplistic seeking business opportunity engagement. That is not what the leaders were thinking when we sought to bring the private sector along. It is much more complex than that. It is about bridging the divide and expanding and creating market opportunities for both countries, even in new areas. So to both private sectors, I want us all to look at this. You have two governments that are ready to listen, engage, and work with you in making things happen. We are presently working, for example, with the Guyana Manufacturers Association to have prefab, flat pack, 700 square foot homes, thin dry timber homes, ready for export very soon at $25,000 US for the package. Very difficult to beat that globally. Imagine if we combine our efforts in the housing needs, even in our two markets, and then sharing the experience and sharing the market and the capital, what we can achieve out of this. So my encouragement to the private sector is to think at the higher level too, at a more macro level. Be innovative in the approach. It is not about an opportunity, but it's about sustaining industries and sectors and combining effort that will bring the real value out of this engagement. Here in Guyana, we have acknowledged that there are capacity deficiencies in our outlook, and we have set out a strategy through which we're going to address those deficiencies. I know various ministers will be presenting today, and they will go into details. I know the Vice President will be working with the Vice President of Ghana on a framework agreement. That will also outline more details on capacity building. How do we engage in an agenda that pursues shared prosperity? And that is the common outlook. People-to-people engagement for shared prosperity. Maybe, just maybe, we can have out of this discourse a strategy among the private sector where more of the local content can be derived by cooperation. Take, for example, the issue of, a simple issue of supply boats. But a major component in oil and gas production, a major component of the business out of oil and gas. How do you support each other? So do not just look at the low-hanging fruit. There may be some areas that if you collaborate and cooperate, the returns will be more medium-term, 3 years down the road, but will be long-term sustainable. We have been talking, for example, about a gold refinery in Guyana, about marketing the tradesmanship of polishing diamonds and so on, because we're still raw material based. And then we have a captive market in CARICOM that is duty-free. Maybe 60% of cruise liners, the CARICOM region is part of their core destination. Hundreds of thousands of persons from cruises passing through an area where we can develop a massive gold and diamond market industry. Guyana is centrally located to open up that opportunity in the rest of CARICOM. How do we combine our efforts in achieving this? And using the two countries to satisfy a larger market and a larger demand, larger opportunities. These are the critical initiatives that we have to examine as we speak about the concept of shared prosperity. Our shared experiences and joint initiatives. At the government level, I give the example of the environment. But what are the other initiatives that we can champion together, that we can share as two countries and champion together? How do we work for initiatives like reducing disparity, inequality, removing hunger, building our capacity to enhance infrastructure, reducing the cost of energy, improving trade? How do we do that in a way in which we create joint initiative in which we pursue? Last night, the Vice President made an important point. It is not only about paper initiative. It is about actionable measures that can derive results, that can bring benefit, that can outline a clear path as to what we are trying and hoping to achieve. These are the type of discussions we hope would result from this engagement. As I said last night, our role is to open the door, create the environment, and put the necessary fiscal arrangements, policy arrangements in place. Then we expect, by providing that efficient leadership, the private sector also to move in a direction in which they can pursue their goals. And that goal cannot only be about making profit. As important as making profit it is, that goal is much wider than that. Building sustainability in your business model, especially in the global environment in which we're operating. So I close by saying, let us pursue an agenda that opens up discussion on shared market, shared relationship, and shared initiative to build opportunity for both private sector and governments. I thank you very much.